Hello and welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are going to be reacting to another one of Laranity's videos. That this one she posted about a month ago from when I'm recording this. New player mistakes to make in Guild Wars 2 according to you, which is I'm assuming is according to her audience. So obviously links to this original video and her channel is in the description. Please go and check her out and go watch her video and like and subscribe, and I shall like. I am already subscribed, but I should also like as well. Also, before we get into the reaction, obviously I'm a new player to Guild Wars 2, so I'm still learning a lot of things. I'm still getting through some stuff, and I'll give you an update on where I'm at very soon. Please do like this video if you want to, and also subscribe to this channel as well. I very much appreciate it. We're slowly creeping up towards that 1,000 subs, which would be amazing. So I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe on these videos and comment as well. But having said all of the beginning preamble that we do every video, it's time to actually get into the reaction. So let's see mistakes that we should be avoiding, and particularly I should be avoiding, in Guild Wars 2 in 3, 2, 1.
I got
Go.
lost in Lornar's Pass when I was level 19, and all my armor was broken, and I had no gold to waypoints or repair, so I uninstalled for a month. Guild Wars 2 is my favorite game, and this week it is coming to Steam.
A physical game.
It
Don't
is a
see those very
massive
often,
game,
particularly PC
and
ones.
to be honest, it can be a little bit overwhelming at first. So,
Yeah,
for all
well,
the brand
yeah,
new
most
players
games,
hopping
well,
into the
most
world
can
of Tyria, I wanted to do a video talking about common beginner mistakes. I went over to my Twitter and my Discord, and I asked people what mistakes they made when they first started playing the game. And I got a lot of responses. This was kind of inspired by a similar video which Zepla did for Final Fantasy XIV. Her content is super awesome. Go check her out. So today, let's go through some of these common beginner mistakes, and let's talk about how you can avoid them. A lot of responses were about the first class you start the game with. I rolled an Ellie, a rookie mistake. I made my first character an Elementalist, thinking Elementalist would be as easy as other classes and then regretting that choice. I would actually recommend just...
So, I suppose Elementalists are hard then. I fortunately did not pick an Elementalist, I picked a Necromancer, but I didn't know that. So, a good decision made already. One mistake avoided so far.
Any class that you think looks cool. Guild Wars 2 is a very alt-friendly game. A lot of stuff in this game is account-bound. And leveling up alt characters is actually very, very easy.
Wonderful.
So don't worry too much about your class choice. Elementalist is definitely the squishiest of the bunch, so you will have to dodge a lot if you're playing an Ellie. Here's some pretty solid advice actually. Play Ellie first. Everything else will feel super smooth after. As a new player, you will probably be spending a lot of time in the open world of Guild Wars 2. Do not be afraid to just wander around and just find the adventure. There's a lot of hidden goodies hidden in the open world. True
that. I spoke about this in my my first impressions that should be up by now. I hope it's on the channel by now. There's something that I've very much enjoyed when starting the game is just having that encouragement to wander around and having that encouragement to know that, you know, spending time in a zone and going through to every single corner and every single I don't know, nook and cranny, I suppose, is not a waste of time. It's not a waste of like potential XP gains or anything like that. It does actually, well, as it says, you never know what you might find. So yes, very much agree.
I didn't realize hearts for karma purchases and map completion were so helpful as I progressed. Out in the open world of Guild Wars
so good, I've been completing all the maps, so that's good to know.
You will find heart quests. You can just walk up to these and do the tasks that appear in the top right of your screen. I do all of these. If you complete the bar, you get a bunch of XP and you get access to a merchant that will sell you stuff for karma. Hearts are pretty good at sort of leading you to interesting places in the open world. But you can get the most XP by doing dynamic events which pop up on your map. I didn't
know those were more. So that's good to know. Okay, I'll bear that in mind.
Checking the sidebar to see if the event I am about to do is a group event and getting my ass handed to me.
I've done that many
Some
times.
events in the open world are
Not just in
totally
this game.
doable by yourself, but if you see a group event, it is meant to be done
Yeah.
by lots of players. So if you're gonna try to do it by yourself, you will probably have a bad time. I thought mentors/mentor tags on the map were training NPCs, and I kept wondering why they moved around so much. Only when I finally caught up with one did I realize that it was another
It's
player.
interesting that you can see them on the
So in Guild Wars
map.
2, you can put up a
Yeah.
mentor tag, which kind of signifies that you're a mentor and that you're willing to help out players. Very often, people also use the mentor tags to just like show that there's a hype, fun event happening somewhere and to just
That's
like
cool.
draw players towards them. So if you see a mentor tag, it can definitely be worth checking it out. But yes, they're players. They're not NPCs. My friends and
I think it's cool like they put them on the map. I wonder how easy it is to, or not easy, how you obtain a mentor tag.
I
Anyway.
create characters with different races. In order to play together, I have walked to his noob zone without knowing 1. What a waypoint is, 2. The possibility to use any waypoints in noob zones, as they are unlocked automatically.
Really?
Took ages to reach him.
God, that must have
Waypoints are
taken a
out in
long
the open
time.
world, and once you unlock them, you can teleport to them for a small fee. When you start the game, you actually unlock a waypoint in every single starter zone. So if your friend is playing
great
a
that they
different
do
race
that.
than you,
I didn't
you can
know
just
that, but I
waypoint over
didn't need
to
to
their
know that,
starter zone
but
and play together.
that's
I thought
great.
I needed
That's
to
great
be
to know.
at a waypoint to port to another waypoint. You do not have to be at a waypoint, you can just teleport from anywhere. I
Yeah.
was so used to playing Guild Wars 1 and how their invisible wall system worked. I didn't know that they didn't exist in Guild Wars 2. I died
What
falling
system?
off hills often. For 3 years, I was doing nothing except killing the bandit boss and bosses in Keswick's Hills.
Oh my
Really?
god,
Did you,
what? How?
Did you just like really like Keswick's Hills? Don't be afraid
You
to
never left
explore.
Keswick's
Korea
Hills?
is massive and there's lots of fun stuff out there.
How can you go through 3 years of playing a game and not leaving Keswick Hills?
Watched a player jump from some high ground and gliding. Try to do the same. Dead. You unlock the glider by starting the Heart of Thorns expansion. And once you get it, you will die to fall damage a lot less. Killing mobs
That's good
like
to know.
crazy because I thought this is the way to level up like in other MMOs instead of doing events. Following some internet guides too much. Learning and finding your own way is the best.
True that.
Wait,
True
hold on,
that.
but like this video is an internet guide. Does that mean I am a beginner mistake? This one is actually from my friend Dani. Thinking AP in the dungeon LFG meant attack power, or just the power stats. And not understanding how someone can have 5k when I only have 2k. AP stands for achievement points. There are loads of achievements in this game,
know
and
that.
they are the way you get a lot of rewards. By
I didn't know
far,
that
the
either.
most common beginner mistake that I saw was rushing through the game. Rushing to 80 was definitely a regret. You don't learn the nuances of your class and will likely also end up with a mess of gear that leaves your character in a bad place. Rushing my first map explorations for the map rewards instead of taking my time and seeing all the cool little stories that are hidden in events. Do the story in order. I did PO at first
That's what
to
I'm
get mouse
planning on
and
doing.
was so confused at everything. And there were a
Gotta just stop that there. Yeah, I mean, I get that. It's very tempting to try and rush through, and when you get time to play the game, you want to try and make it as much, or at least sometimes when I play, I feel like I need to try and make as much as like efficient progress as I can in the, however many hours a day I can play. And sometimes it's about trying to get rid of that, and that's one thing that to be honest, like I kind of regret. I kind of rushed through, or very much kind of beelined my way through A Realm Reborn in Final Fantasy XIV, and did a bit less in Heaven's Ward, but I kind of beelined through Stormblood, and I kind of regret it looking back on it. I wish particularly with A Realm Reborn, because I really wish I spent a lot more time learning about the lore and how, and learning about, like Bahamut and stuff like that, which are stories which you can learn in A Realm Reborn. I know it's Guild Wars 2 video, so some of you might not know what I'm talking about, but it's stuff that I kind of skimmed over, and I fully regret doing that, and that's what I'm trying to, like, play the game at a slow pace or at my pace. I mean, it can be tempting to try and rush sometimes, particularly when I'm trying to like do videos on it as well. But I'm trying to not make the same mistake as I have made in previous MMOs. So this is a good point. Definitely a good point.
Lots of responses about the level 80 boost. Do not
Ooh.
boost your first character to 80, it sets you up for confusion.
Okay.
Don't use the level
I
boost
haven't
on
done
your
it.
first
I haven't.
character. Still recovering from that one. And there were a lot
Well,
more
there's
of
loads.
these.
Don't
I would
boost your
not
80.
recommend boosting your first character to level 80.
I didn't do
It
it.
can be really
I didn't. I was
overwhelming to
tempted.
suddenly
I was
have
really
all
tempted,
these
but I didn't.
skills and traits at your disposal without having them being introduced to you gradually. Getting frustrated in the early levels. For me, it was far more fun playing the whole story and exploration with max level.
Really?
If you're not having fun while
Really
leveling,
interesting.
it might make sense to use a boost, but be aware of what you're getting yourself into. You might get a little bit overwhelmed reading all these skills at once.
Yeah.
I used my level
it's
80
too
boost
much
on
for
a
me.
character that I deleted a week after. Oh, that one hurts a little bit. I made the mistake of enjoying the game, and suddenly it's 10 years later.
That does
right
happen.
there with you, Shaman. Trying to move, but not realizing I am in the chat window.
I've done that loads
Posting
of
an
times.
embarrassing
Loads of MMOs have done that.
www.asdw message for everyone to see.
We've all
I
done
think
that.
We have all been there.
We've all done
My
that.
biggest mistake was that I used real money for gems to buy basic dye kits. Gotta get all of them colors. Once you unlock a dye in Goats 2, you can use it as many times as you want on any of your characters. A lot of
Yep.
basic dyes are really cheap on the trading post though, so maybe look into that one first. Skill clicking. Pressing buttons on your keyboard to cast your skills is quite a lot faster than clicking the skill icons with your mouse.
No, to be fair, like if it's your first MMO, my first MMO. Well, to be fair, my first MMO was RuneScape actually, but it was then WoW. And I used to click the skills, and it's because look, when it's your first one, or you don't know. You don't really know how to do things, and you're just trying to figure it out. So it's all part of learning. It's all part of learning.
But I do know someone who skill clicks and has cleared every race in the game
That's
with
bizarre.
very respectable damage.
How?
I would recommend
How?
using your keyboard, but in the end, it's up to
'Cause
you.
I turn with my
and
mouse.
You can get good with almost
Oh.
anything.
My goodness. And I also hit their side buttons with it. I turn
Double
with my
tap
mouse,
to
so
dodge. By
can't-
default,
I
you
don't
can dodge in
understand.
Contest 2 by pressing the V button or by double tapping a direction. A lot of players recommend turning double tap to dodge off, because if you're doing precise movement, you might accidentally double tap and end up dodging. This
Okay.
is especially painful if you're trying to do a jumping puzzle
Oh,
and
dear.
then accidentally dodge off the edge. I didn't
kinda
keep
direct
on
all my
toggle
movement with my
action
mouse, really.
camera. Action camera is a different way to play Guild Wars 2. You can activate it by binding a key to action camera and then pressing it. It basically makes Guild Wars 2 more of an action game where you have
wow.
to
I haven't actually
aim
done
your
that yet.
attacks. Some people absolutely
that's
love
really
action
cool.
camera, and you might want to consider trying it.
I'm gonna try that.
Do be aware though that there are some limitations.
Well, you
For
can't see
example,
everything.
if you want to put an AoE behind you, you can't just like move your mouse there and click. You have to like turn your camera,
it's
place it,
not great
and then
for a
turn
raid.
back. You might enjoy it though. A lot of people really like action camera. Sell all my exotics
I'd
to
like
a
that.
merchant. Oh gosh, please don't do that. Selling gear to the merchant. Always should have salvaged them or put them on a trading post. Deleting or salvaging very expensive items because I did not bother to check TP prices. I will not talk further about this as I would like to forget my past shame. And now
Okay, I have sold a few things to a vendor. Oh no, I've made a mistake. Okay, so salvage then, or a trading post. Fine. Okay, I won't do that again.
oh, it's in my video. I'm sorry. If you want to set an item in Guild Wars 2, please check the value on the trading post first. Merchants very often give you a lot less gold than what you would get on a trading post. I
Okay.
used to sell everything for gold. Hoarding really pays off. I agree, I hoard lots of items in my bank. Whenever I need something, it's usually like in there,
Okay.
somewhere. I didn't realize there was a deposit button in the inventory. Proceeded to throw out mats.
I'm sorry,
The
what?
key to hoarding materials is this little deposit button in your inventory. It takes all your materials and instantly deposits them into your bank for
I didn't know that. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, I did not know that at
wherever
all.
you are. It's really useful to make sure
Yes,
you
it
always have
is.
some backspace.
All right.
Speaking of
Well,
gear, there were
now
a
I know,
lot
I
of
guess.
responses about gear. Don't buy expensive rare plus gear while leveling. Stick with some cheap stuff till you hit level
You
cap
always
and
get
then
better
work on
gear.
some nice gear with all the money you saved. Having
Yeah.
toughness and getting aggro as an elementalist. In some raid bosses, the tank is determined by who has the most toughness. So if you're using super tanky toughness gear, you might suddenly find yourself tanking the boss. Customizable gear that showed no stats and I didn't know I could customize it. This is a really good one too. Sometimes
yeah,
you get gear
sometimes
which
you
has
forget,
no stats on it. You then have to right-click your gear and
Customize
select
and
which
pick it,
stats you want. A lot of people forget this and then run around with gear that has 0 stats. Don't do this. It will be very painful. Completely ignoring runes and sigils for years. Runes are upgrades that you can slot into your armor, and sigils are upgrades that you can slot into your weapons. This doesn't matter that much when you're leveling, but once you are max
I don't really know
level,
much about
these
this yet.
runes and sigils make a huge difference.
That's good
It's
to
also
know.
important to note that if you have multiple of the same rune in your armor, you will get special bonuses. You pretty much always want to be running 6 of the same runes in your armor, because the bonus you get for using 6 of the same runes is usually very, very strong. Mixing runes is not a good idea. Don't worry about an actual build until level 80. Just pick what you think sounds cool. This is super true. Especially when you're leveling, it's really easy to just experiment. If you want to get into really hard content once you're max level, then you can look into a good build.
Yeah, I kind of made this error when I first played Elder Scrolls Online, and I was kind of looking at builds and stuff before I even hit to max level. And it took me ages to actually eventually get a character max level because I kept changing my mind and stuff like that, being quite indecisive with what I wanted to play and seeing someone else and thinking, oh, I want to play that and play that and play that. Oh, I haven't actually re-full screened this, I just realised. Yeah, just play. I think that's the best thing. Don't think too much about it and just play.
Oh, this one you might not necessarily run into, but it's painful. It's very, very painful. When I came back after Heart of Thorns launched, I accidentally vendored a liquid iridium infusion. This was shortly after it first became available and was at the peak of its value. I found out a month later that I effectively flushed a few legendaries.
God.
This infusion is worth a lot of gold, and back in the day, it would drop inside of an item. So people would see the item, think it was trash, and just throw it away, even though it was like a super rare, super valuable infusion. Didn't read any of the explanations in general, but especially for gathering tools. I kept using the copper ones in higher level areas, meaning that I only ever got trash items, and I thought it was just really unlucky. If you want to gather higher level materials, you will need higher level gathering tools.
I didn't know that. I haven't really done that much of that yet.
But they are a bit more expensive.
Okay.
Wow, this response is actually from Bobby Stein, who is the narrative director on Guild Wars 2.
Wow.
Not rebinding my move/turn keys to WASD FPS right before a press demo, and absolutely sucking during the presentation. Playing and talking is hard. Oh no, Bobby, no! no! You usually do not want to be using your keyboard to turn when you are in Guild 2 combat, because it is very, very slow. They actually changed the default keybinds recently, so that A and D will now strafe instead of slowly turn
you need to do that.
My preferred way of moving around quickly is to hold down my right mouse button, and then I can just like quickly turn whatever way I want really fast. Hey Bobby, if you're watching, I totally get it. It is actually pretty hard to talk and play at the same time. I would know. And that is the end of this video. Thanks so much to everyone who submitted these beginner mistakes. I really, really appreciate it. There were like so many, and there was unfortunately no way for me to cover them all. But I really, really do appreciate it.
Part 2.
Laranity streams Guild Wars 2 multiple times a week. Join her Twitch streams to meet fun people. I stream 5 days a week over at twitch.tv/Laranity.
Go check her out.
And I would love it if you would stop by. I also have a lot of Guild 2 content on this channel. If you are a new player, you might be interested in my introduction to Guild Wars 2 lore video.
Ooh.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you now feel a little bit more prepared to hop into Guild Wars 2.
Just pause it there. One for the future there, I think. If you want us to watch that together, let me know. Because that would actually be good, actually. Yeah, that could go on the list. Okay, so thoughts. I mean, I made a couple of mistakes already by vendoring stuff and not knowing about that. What's it called? Stash button on the bag menu. I had no idea that was there. But a lot of this stuff makes a lot of sense, and it's also, I mean, as I've said a few times already, is quite applicable to all MMOs, really, not just Guild Wars, but you know, playing what you think looks cool. That's how you should choose what character you play. Don't worry about what's in the meta. Forget about that. Worry about that later. When you start an MMO, pick what you want to, the class fantasy that you enjoy the most. Take your time. I've made this mistake a lot and burned out of MMOs before. Particularly for 14. I tried to play that game several times before I actually really got into it. Done it with WoW, done it with loads of games. It's just take your time and enjoy it and try and enjoy the world. That's the best thing, and enjoy the characters. I mean, I can't comment on too many of these, obviously, because I'm not don't know a huge amount about the game as of yet, but you know, we'll get there. Obviously, we're getting there slowly but surely. But that's I suppose that's the advice that I'm taking with this, is not to rush, because I have done that before, and I wish I didn't. And I mean, if you look back through the videos on this channel, you'll see that a lot of them are FF14, and I'm currently not playing FF14, not because I don't like it anymore, but because I need a break, and it's because of playing it too hard. I still really like that game, and I will play it again, of course. What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? But yeah, this is a great video, and is, I mean, if you have a new, if you're like trying to get your friends or people who've never played Guild Wars before, indeed have played any MMO before, I'd say show them this video, because it's obviously very useful and very helpful. And I wish I watched this before I started, actually, to be honest, because I wouldn't have made a couple of the mistakes that I did make. But you know, you live and you learn, and that's it is what it is. So there's no point in me dragging this out any longer than I have. So obviously all of Laranity's information will be in the description, of course, as usual. Go follow her, subscribe to her, watch her Twitch and things like that. Please do also like and subscribe to this video if you want to, and also if you do have any recommendations for other things you want me to look at, please put those in the comments below. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.